We are starting the new chapter, which is chapter number 4. The name of the chapter is that motion in two dimension. Motion in two dimension, and what does it mean that motion in two dimension? If an object is moving horizontally, if an object is moving vertically and horizontally, it's x axis and y axis. So, if an object moves in horizontally and vertically, so this is called the two dimension. And the object is moving in x axis also and in y axis also at the same time. That object moves in x axis as well as in y axis in same time known as two dimension. And if the object is moving only in x axis, so it will be the one dimension. And uh, if object is moving in also in y axis, so it will be two dimension. Now there are two types of two dimension motion, projectile motion. And projectile motion, it is the best example of the two dimension motion. And number 2 is uniform circular motion. Uniform circular motion. So starting with the projectile motion, that what is projectile motion? Projectile motion. So projectile motion, if an object moves with and if an object throws with an angle theta, okay, angle theta horizontally, and its path can be determined by gravitational force, or we can say that an air resistance. Okay, if we are it is an projectile motion, it is an example of the motion in two dimension. It is the best example, projectile motion. Okay, so if I'm making that object moving in x axis also and in y axis also, I'm throwing a ball from an angle and the ball will be coming downward. Okay, here the two forces are applying. The one force is that ball is coming downward, so it's gravity. Okay, vertically the gravity is applied, and horizontally the air resistance. Okay, horizontally air resistance force is applied. Air resistance. So there are two forces applied. Okay, so now the two force applied, ball is coming downward with the help of gravity, and vertically downward it's a air resistance. Air resistance opposite to the motion. Okay, now along x-axis air resistance means horizontally. Okay, horizontally. And along the y-axis gravity, which is vertically, we can say that. So in projectile motion we neglect the neglect the air resistance. So we neglect the air resistance. So we have neglect the air resistance. So on x axis no force is there because we have neglect this force. And now if we will neglect the neglect the air resistance, so there will be the zero acceleration. Okay, because no force is there. If force is not there, then the acceleration will not be there, and velocity will remain same. Okay, now if we are taking gravity, so it is a force, and this force is applied, so there will be the acceleration. Okay, acceleration, and the velocity will be changed. Okay, no constant velocity, change in velocity, because acceleration is there. If acceleration is there, then the change in velocity is important. So now on x-axis we are neglecting air resistance because, okay, we have neglected the air resistance. Now I am giving this some examples of the projectile motion that we can say that badminton, cricket, and badminton, cricket, and we are throwing a ball, kick the ball. Okay, I'm now what aeroplane. Okay, aeroplane. It it's the aeroplane is the example of the projectile motion. No, it's not, because on aeroplane we are applying the external force. If we are applying the external force, so no projectile motion will be there.